I would like to start by saying my name is Sean Michael Kemp. I'm the ARA for Area C in Florida. And along with me, we have the Area D ARA, which is Chris Shields, the Area B ARA, which is Dave Rietzler, who's stepping in for Ed Gerton at the time. And we have Danny Va, who is the Area A ARA. Today it was kind of my idea to do something along these lines. I'm a pilot, and we do things all the time called rusty pilot courses, where it's people who've been out of the game for quite some time flying. They hold the certification, as all of you probably do, and basically we get them up to speed with what's going on, because they've been out of it for a while. So as part of my idea, we've been off the field for quite some time now, to go ahead and see what we can do to help you guys get back on the game, on the field, and be as efficient as possible. So we put together a series through the month of September here, and it's going to be a referee tune-up series is what we are calling it. We're starting with some kind of administrative stuff here. This one's going to cover recertification and the recertification process, to help you guys out with anything that you may have questions about, walk you through the process a little bit. And then the next couple of weeks, we're going to walk you through some more laws of the game and more practical on the field things. We have Mike Meckelberg, who is the national signer for the state of Florida. He'll be covering pregame and pre-game, I guess you could call it, kind of things getting you back on the field. And then we have Merritt Guthrie and Brendan Berry, which both are national coaches in the state of Florida, who will be talking about management as well as the law changes for 2021. So a little more geared towards the laws of the game and practical things moving forward. We just started with the administrative stuff, get that out of the way, and then next couple of weeks we'll have some exciting stuff to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and get my presentation up here, and we will get started. Okay, Tim, you can see that, right? I'm just double checking I'm not talking over nothing. Tim, can you hear me? Yep. Okay, can you see the presentation? Oh, I'm just double checking. No, I can't before I start. Okay, good. Thank you, Janessa. All right, so 2021 referee recertification we will be talking about. So kind of an overview of what we're going to talk about today is I'm going to talk about a couple of the systems that we use in the recertification process, as well as we're going to talk about how to register for the recertification, kind of going through some background check stuff and some safe sports stuff. So starting with the systems overview. First things first is we have a fancy website that we love to keep up to date with the most information, the latest and the greatest of the information, flsrc.org, which probably many of you are aware of or went to the website today to get to this Zoom session. There are also links to all the other systems that we will be talking about today, which is a great thing. It's a good place to start. If you're going to start here, and move from here, you'll be able to get to most places that you need to get as a referee as far as the recertification process goes. We also have great stuff as far as frequently asked questions. You can get instant feedback on some of that stuff. News, we often post news on the website, as well as a calendar of events that are all available to you. There's also a multitude of things that I haven't mentioned, things as the library with documents that are important, all kinds of stuff like that. It's a great website to be able to go ahead and look around, and you'd be surprised at some of the information that you can find on there. Now, this is the FLSRC OMS system, okay? The OMS system, and I'll refer to it throughout this presentation as the OMS system, is where you're going to register for courses. You're also going to upload required documents to the system. You can check on your registration status, and you're also where you're going to complete all the online modules for the referee recertification process. We'll dig a little bit deeper into this system in a later part of the presentation. Got Soccer is another system that we use. Got Soccer is a system that is used by FYSA, and FYSA for the state of Florida is required that we do all of our background checks through the Got Soccer system. So in order to complete a background check, you will go to this website, and we will go ahead and talk about that a little bit later on, how to do that in depth. The U.S. Soccer Learning Center is new to most of you this year. It's something that the U.S. Soccer has been working on for some time. It's a standardized and centralized learning center for all the referees, as well as they do it for the coaches. And there are many, many courses in there. And what we are going to do as Florida this year, we're going to use this system to go ahead and complete the Safe Sports certification. We'll talk a little bit about that later on the presentation as well. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and start with how to register for your recertification this year. You're going to go into the OMS system, which you can find again on the FLSRC website. On the right-hand side, there are buttons. One of them is for the officials login. And you're going to click on register for a clinic or a fitness test down here in that drop-down menu. And occasionally, if you have not logged in for a while, it will go ahead and prompt you automatically to complete the recertification process. So you will see the first page may be something along the lines of updating your personal information, and it will go ahead and walk you through the rest of the process unprompted. So don't be surprised if you do see that. However, if you have logged in lately or it does not auto prompt you, this would be how you need to go ahead and go through and register for a course. Once you register for that course, it's going to ask for your personal information. You're going to make sure that all this information is up to date. And it's very important that you go ahead and make sure that this information is up to date as possible, as we will be sending your badge to the address here. We're going to talk a little bit about your name. Your name will not be able to edit. However, it is imperative that your name is what matches your identification. And we'll talk a little bit more about why that's important later on. It has to do with the U.S. Soccer Learning Center process, okay? So once you update your personal information, you'll click on the bottom and hit submit. You will continue, and it's going to notify you that you do need to complete a background check. Now, the background check is, again, done in the Got Soccer system. We will cover how to complete a background check in the Got Soccer system in just a little bit. Once you click I agree, you're going to complete the request below, okay? It's going to ask you what kind of soccer official or what kind of request you would like to make. For most of you, that's referee, okay? If you also hold a assessor, instructor, assigner, or futsal referee certification that you would like to recertify, you can go ahead and check all those boxes that are appropriate for you. They should already be clicked for you if you hold those certifications. However, if they are not, you can go ahead and click them. It will ask there in the bottom, you will be a recertification for this year. And then the level, which for a good portion of you will be grassroots referee. If you hold a different certification, then that certification would be the one that you want to click. You're going to click on Reserve Clinic. It's going to bring you to this page. And in the bottom right corner, okay, you will see that in the bottom right, it asks for a Reserve Clinic. If you do not click that button, it's not going to reserve the clinic for you. And you can see that pretty much for the grassroots referees, it's going to be online only. Your whole recertification process will be completed online. Now, for those regional referees that are out there, you do have to register for a course, and it may have an improper date and time. However, we recognize that, and we will not be having any in-person recertification courses. However, we are doing a fitness test at some point. But you will go ahead and just reserve the clinic that is appropriate for you, even though we do know we are not attending it. After you click that, you're going to click complete and pay, which is on the bottom there. And after you do that, if you have an issue let's say right here where it says 2021 USSF license fee, or one of those two things is red, that most likely means that you did not add the clinic to the course, and it will not allow you to check out until both items are green. So you must add the license fee as well as the recertification fee. They will turn green, and then you can go ahead and complete checkout. PayPal is the only option for payment at this time. You will go ahead and click complete, okay? And you will be able to go online, and on the right hand side here, there are all of the online lessons. You'll click there, and all your online lessons that do need to be completed in sequential order will be there waiting for you. Now, I get a lot of questions about your status as a referee, or your recertification status. If I've completed everything, is what I get a lot of emails about. We've included this button called Check Status, and once you click the Check Status button at the very bottom there, it'll pop up a new window, and it'll say registration status. In this case, the registration says approved, okay? There'll be various things that are there. It could say pending office approval. It could say pending online lessons. So if you have any pending items, they will pop up there, and so then you know what's incomplete. Just recognize that the registration is a manual process. Abram, the SRA, sends all of your information to US Soccer to go ahead and complete the recertification and certify you with US Soccer. So even if it says pending office approval, just give it a couple of days for him to go ahead and send the registrations up to US Soccer and get you guys certified. So now we're going to walk you through some background check information. Again, the background check information is done in Got Soccer. Once you go to Got Soccer, you will click on login and then referee login. Okay, we're having a good amount of problems with referees creating multiple accounts. So what we do recommend is that if you're having trouble logging in to Got Soccer, you do not create a new account, that you go ahead and click on I can't remember my password, or look up your referee account. If you're having trouble with your referee account, you cannot find your account, or you're having an additional issue, you can email your ARA and they will be able to look up in the Got Soccer system your account and provide you additional guidance. As soon as you create an additional account, it creates errors in the system with you being state approved as well as risk management approved. So it just kind of creates an additional layer of frustration when you go ahead and try to complete your background check every year. So just try to avoid hitting that new account registration button. The other issue is that you will not be linked to the FYSA system if you click that register button account. And so you'll create an account, you'll register, you'll go in, and you will not be able to complete a background check because you are not linked to the FYSA system. Another problem that people are having lately with not being able to click on the background check is that they're logged into the system, however, they have no tab for the background check. The problem most likely there is that you do not have FYSA listed as your primary assigner. So you need to go in to the assigner tab, and which is up here in the top ribbon to the left of background checks, and you can change your primary assigner to FYSA. Don't worry if you do work for other people, they will still be able to use you. It just allows you to have FYSA as your primary assigner, allows you to complete the background check, and we recommend that you keep FYSA as your primary assigner. It does not affect other people or assigners that use you. To complete the background check, you're going to go ahead and go to the background check tab. You're going to click submit a new report. Okay. Once you submit a new report, it will ask you a multitude of questions and personal information. It will also prompt you to pay for the background check fee, which is collected directly by FYSA and paid to FYSA to complete the background check. And once you've completed the background check, you're going to give it a couple of days. And on the bottom here, you will see approved. Okay. If you see approved, you will see a view button as well as a print card button. The print card button will allow you to pull up your risk management card, which is what you need to upload into the FLSRC OMS system. Specific instructions on how to upload the risk management card once you receive it into the OMS system can be found on FLSRC's website under the Frequently Asked Questions tab, which is under About Us, or it's on the right-hand side, Frequently Asked Questions, and it's number 9. It's also located in your online modules as number 12 for most of you, called Document Upload Module. So if you're having any trouble uploading the document, we've created a video and you can have step-by-step instructions as to how to go ahead and complete and upload your risk management card to the OMS system. Now, once you upload the OMS, the card into the OMS system, it'll say pending on your homepage of the OMS. Don't worry if it says pending and it doesn't immediately change. What has to happen is we actually have to go in, view your card, make sure that it is approved and it has the proper expiration date, and then we approve your risk management status. So if the status does not change automatically in the OMS system, don't be afraid of that, because it is a manual process. It does take a live person going in, physically looking at what you uploaded and then approving it. So give it a couple of days if you are seeing an issue there where it says pending. Here is the Safe Sport course. We're going to talk a little bit about the Safe Sport course, and Scott Hutchinson, who is the Assistant Area Administrator for Area B, created a great video for us to view.
Hey everyone, Scott Hutchinson here, one of the Assistant Area Referee Administrators, and I wanted to do a quick tutorial on how to get into the Safe Sport program. First thing you're going to do is go to learning.ussoccer.com. Once you're there, you're going to log in or sign up, but you probably should already have an account. Saved it. If you've forgotten your password, you can, again, just use the email that you used to create. But log in. And once you've successfully logged in, you're going to scroll down and click on the referee program. Once that page loads, you can go up to the top under your courses, available courses. And just to the right of license pathway, you're going to click on supplemental courses. There's Safe Sport. Okay, here's your information and how to start Safe Sport. So click on this and you will be able to do it. You can actually watch it in Spanish as well, if you so choose. Once you are done, you will get a certificate. Please download the certificate just for your records, but FLSRC will be notified of the fact that you have passed the course. The course is going to take you probably an hour and a half to 2 hours. So just set aside some time, knock it out, get it done. It's worthwhile information. So if you have any questions, please refer back to this video or give one of your area referee administrators or assistant referee administrators an email, and we can hopefully walk you through it. Have a great day.
Quick little overview, which Scott did cover. You're going to click on referees, my courses, and go through there. The course is designed, and again, we're using the US Soccer Learning Center this year. All of you do have an account. What is going to happen when you log in for the first time is it's going to ask for your information. We have already uploaded your information into the system, and it's going to try to match from the database. It's going to try to find you and create your account. When you do that, you're going to have to enter the name that is located on your FLSRC OMS account. That is what's in that account is going to be in the U.S. Soccer Learning Center. If you do not type in the name properly, then it will not find your account properly, okay? It will go ahead and think you're a new referee trying to register. You will not be approved to take the Safe Sport course. So it's imperative that you type in your name properly from what is found on the FLSRC website. For example, people whose first name is Anthony and they go by Tony. If you have Anthony in the FLSRC website and you try to type Tony into the U.S. Soccer Learning Center, the U.S. Soccer Learning Center will not find you and you will not be able to take the course. You'll email one of us and we will have to figure out what had happened, what happened to your account, okay? Now, some of you have an issue that could have arose, which is that you completed the Safe Sport in another system, either directly through Safe Sport or through Got Soccer potentially. If you did this, it's not the end of the world. You do not need to retake the course. What you're going to do is you're going to go to frequently asked questions on the LSRC website, and you will then click on FAQ number 7, which gives you specific instructions on how to validate your current U.S. Soccer Safe Sport course in the U.S. Soccer Learning Center. It includes going into your profile and adding the code that's on the bottom of the Safe Sport certificate into your account, and it will automatically validate. This was posted to the FLSRC website the other day. Referee suspensions on the increase. Now, U.S. Soccer does have a requirement that all Safe Sport courses for each individual referee needs to be up to date, okay? It is not like your background check where it expires at the same time every year for every referee in the state. Each one of you has an individual expiration date on your Safe Sport course. It's 1 year from the certificate that you received from the previous year. Now, U.S. Soccer has been issuing suspensions to referees who do not complete the Safe Sport course in a timely manner. So it may be that you need to complete the Safe Sport course before, let's say, you want to complete the recertification process. So we've included information on how to get to the Safe Sport course outside of the recertification modules. The recertification modules also walk you through step-by-step as to how to go ahead and complete the U.S. Soccer Safe Sport course. You might be getting an email from the Learning Center that reminds you to go ahead and take that. Now, we're not going to rely on that system to go ahead and remind you. You do want to go in to your U.S. Soccer Learning Center and ensure your Safe Sport is up to date. Frequently asked questions. So many frequently asked questions are on the frequently asked questions tab of the FLSRC website. We do our best as the area administrators to get back to you. However, all of us have full-time jobs, and this is a completely volunteer position for us. So if you do need immediate help, a lot of the answers of a lot of the questions that you may have could be found in the frequently asked questions tab. You have to wait for us to get back to you via email. If you do have an issue that is not in the frequently asked questions, here is all of the area contacts for the area administrators in your area. It's also found on the FLSRC website under About Us, and then Contact Maps. And based on the county that you live in, your area administrator is determined by A, B, C, or D. That is all that I have. Tim, is there anything that you would like to add?
Yes, I received a text from NAMI. She wants to make sure we put the information out
Okay.
about the Women's Referee Initiative, which will be in November. And all that information is posted on the website. You can get a hold of me, get a hold of NAMI, but we will have the Women's Initiative the second weekend, I believe it is, in November, and that will be in the Lake Myrtle area.